Hello, it's your girl, Lady Brown Sugar, and I welcome you to the Lady Brown Sugar Show. As you see, I have special guests. Before we get started, though, just want to let you know that my opinion is my opinion, and your opinion is your opinion, and we can agree to disagree. So, this is real life. So, let's talk about it. These are my special guests, and I want each one of y'all to introduce yourself. Ladies first.
Why do I always got to be ladies first? No, I'm just playing.
Because it is.
Like, don't
No.
even start, sir.
Hey, so my name is Jaton, and Stephanie, what else do you want me to tell them?
Tell
You
them,
can
about
tell them a little bit
about the
about you.
cookies.
Oh, okay. I'm a mom, and I own a small business. It's Sweet 1603. It's a baking business here, local to Lynchburg, Virginia.
All right, my
Whichever
name
one
is
want to
Blake.
go next.
My name is Blake from the Man Experience.
Hello, I'm Desmond, and I am the creator of the Man Experience, also host of the Man Experience as well.
And I am Arthur Hezzy, author of books and the Author's Lounge.
All right, y'all. So let's get started. So today's topic is about dating in 2023. So we're gonna get started with how is it dating in 2023? And anybody can jump in and start out first. Oh, and just to let
Patience.
everybody know, Mr. Desmond is married. So I wanted his input on how it was dating when he started dating before when he met his wife versus what he sees that some of us are going through now. So how's dating for y'all?
I mean, it's like my name is Arthur Hezzy. It's like in 2023, it's different than the old school way of dating. It's like you got to have a lot of patience, and you got to have you got to build a lot of trust, and it's kind of hard because it's so many choices out there, and with social media now, it's it's like you really have to get to know your partner. You got to really invest. You got to really invest in a relationship in 2023. If not, it's just something to do.
Basically. Anybody else?
It's definitely changed over the years. I'm not currently dating. I haven't dated in this year, but I think that a lot of it centers around like both people coming to the table and knowing where they are, what they bring with them, and like what they need to work on internally, and wanting to work on that for the benefit of the relationship.
True.
I have a question. Like,
Yeah.
you all, I guess, Blake. I know you and I have talked about some of the channels and avenues that you're utilizing as far as dating. Are you big on the dating apps? Is everyone on the dating apps?
Nah, I don't be doing no dating apps.
Because he a
that's
straight
like
player.
yeah. No, I mean, no, I ain't never did like no dating apps or nothing like that. But it's like I don't know. It's dating. Dating is it's weird. Like it's if you decide you want to have a partner and you date, then that's cool. But if you just want to do you and be who you are, then that's available too. Because social media offers a whole lot of things nowadays. So it's up to you to it's up to you to decide. Like, shoot, I went on Instagram yesterday. I was like, whoa, wow, you can tell it's summertime out. You know what I'm saying? and like in today's world, like sex can be free, sex you can pay for. So like whatever you want, you can buy it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just being honest because the women nowadays, they're treating themselves as a business. Are you going to invest in me? What have you done for me?
Do you want to elaborate on that?
I'm going to ask women how y'all feel about that.
Oh my! I'm just being honest.
Wow. Well, I tried the dating apps, and the dating apps is a mess.
They naps can be weird.
So they weren't heavy,
Right.
obviously, when obviously I was dating, which was ages ago, ancient times, back when I met Tanisha. It wasn't obviously we met in the church, right? Like we met in the church, and that's where we grew up, and that's how that happened, and all those things. So I wasn't made privy to dating apps. But yeah, they seem like they can be very, very weird because obviously you don't know who you're connecting with.
I mean, for me, I think the dating apps are really set up like to use for like, they can't use Backpage no more. So hey, let me set up on this dating site. Let me trick you into doing that because I mean, I got a lot of friends. They go on dating sites and stuff like that, and they tell, oh man, I got tricked out of this and tricked out of that. So you got to be, man, you just got to be weird these days. You got to really be prayed up when it's deciding you need to decide on if you want to date or not because you don't know what you get nowadays. Back then you got to court your partner. You didn't have cell phones you could take with you, so you had to talk on the phone all night long and this and that, and you take long rides, and you didn't have a cell phone on your hip, and you'll go meet them, and you had to go meet the family and all that. Man, you don't do that no more. Everything is a text. So if you read a text one way and they read a text one way, that whole relationship can end that one day.
That's true.
Just by not communicating, because if you don't have communication in a relationship, you ain't got nothing. So today, and then in today's time, if you are trying to communicate, it seems as, oh, well, you don't trust me or you insecure. No, I'm trying to communicate with you. That is it. But it's like in today's world, everything is processed so fast. Everything is moving so fast. So when you try to slow things down, it's like, man, what the world that's passed me by, that relationship that's passed me by.
Yeah, but like you might not be like the rest of the guys because not every guy likes to communicate. Like to me, communication is not good morning, beautiful. And
No, I want to talk
about. And then so then I respond back like, I'm good. How are you? And then he responds back good. Like that pisses me off.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're not even gonna ask me how I'm doing? You're not gonna ask me what I got planned for today? What about me? I asked about you.
But
so
on
that's
the flip
issue.
side,
Like,
go ahead. I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
And
On the flip side,
go
you
ahead.
have the others that all they ask is, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? How many times can I tell you I'm working? I got 2 jobs and 2 kids. Like, what do you think I'm doing? What are you doing? You got dinner ready?
It's like they don't know nothing else. Like they don't they don't want to get to know you, ask you questions as far as what do you like to do? What type of food you like to eat? Where do you want to go? What are your goals for the future?
Because you got to understand what man you're dealing with.
Else.
You got to understand what kind of man you're dealing with. If you don't want to know anything about what's your favorite color?
Yeah.
What you like to eat? What's some of the things that you like? What makes you sad? What makes you happy?
He's not intentionally investing in you.
Right.
Exactly. He's investing in what he wants from you, but he's not investing in you. If I come to you, if I come to you, I want to know what color, what's your favorite color? What you like to do? What kind of flowers you like? Little stuff. And it ain't player, but it's just getting to
but everybody ain't smooth
to
like
know
you,
you.
Mr. GQ.
So to that point,
everybody ain't smooth like you.
But to his point, so when I got married, obviously I went through the whole marriage counseling thing with the pastor and everything. And so one of the things that the pastor said to us was, I want y'all to take a piece of paper out and I want you to write everything it is that you know about your spouse. Like everything it is that you know about this person that you're about to marry. And so I came back with like a page and a half on my wife. Like I knew her favorite
Wow.
color, I knew her favorite
Mhm.
food. Like I knew everything. But those were things, as Arthur Hezzy said,
It's-
that I wanted to know from the beginning. Like that wasn't
Mhm.
something that, I was like, oh, now I know. It was something that, I was interested in and invested in from the time I met you. I want to know what your favorite color is. What's your middle name? Who your peoples? What do you like to do? What are your interests? Like I wrote down, like she was a karate person when she was in elementary school. Like she was a brown belt.
Right,
Like
right. And you know what's funny? And what you're saying, you don't have to remember it. That's why your phone got a notepad on it. This is what she. Well, I'm giving y'all the secret. I'm giving y'all the game right now. I'm just
That's
telling
that
you.
player. That's the player. Because
No,
in
you
his
know what?
phone, he got the women listed with the birth dates, with their favorite color, and everything. Ladies, pay
No,
attention.
it's just no. It's just that if you invested in this woman, you wants to know everything about her. So why would you want to forget what's her favorite color? You write it down. We don't, man. No, we got stuff we doing all day long. So I can go to my notepad and be like, she likes this. Okay, it's her birthday. I know her birthday. I know her favorite color. I know what food she likes to eat. I know what restaurants she likes to go to. You know what I'm saying? That's just something. Men don't want to know that these days, and the ones that don't want to know it, they ain't really invested in you. If they did, they didn't.
That's true. And that's true. It's a red flag to me if you don't ask me
Right.
questions.
I want to know everything.
Yes, definitely a red flag. And that's like up next.
Man, I even put on that paper. I
Plain,
was
plain
like,
and simple. I'm not gonna waste my time.
Steph, I put on that paper. I said her dad used to take her to play tennis when she was little. I knew like everything that I want.
And it's stuff
know.
like that that means the most, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, absolutely.
It's stuff like that means
And
the most.
and one thing for me,
and
I'm a
it
good
depends on the
listener.
women that you're dating too.
It does.
I'm a good listener.
It depends on the women, because you can date women who's basically only into material things and don't want you to know their birth date or whatever. They just want to know what your pocket is. And if you date those type of women, I mean, that's on you.
It's a place for them too.
And see, you know what?
I mess with you, Steph. I had to mess with you, Steph.
Well,
See,
can I ask y'all
and
this?
I know, because me and you already know.
Can I ask y'all this?
Those books ain't telling nothing on, for no reason at all. So you know what I'm saying.
So the man experience.
So you cried over there, Mr. Blake. I want to know what your thought about it in the dating scene and all of that.
The dating scene is hard nowadays. That's how I feel about it, because it can get weird, especially on the apps. We got catfishes out here. We got people trying to, you just got to be careful. As Arthur Hezzy said, because it can get weird out here. So you just kind of gotta gauge who you talking to, and make sure you ain't wasting your time. I feel like.
And basically, you got to believe, you got to stay true to who you is.
What was you saying?
You just got to stay true to who you is. If you know what you bring to the table, you ain't got to worry about what the other one's doing, because at the end of the day, they're going to pick and choose who they want, regardless of what you're doing or how they're doing in today's society. So it's about, you got to have trust. That's the main trust and loyalty. I don't even need to trust. Let's be loyal and communication.
Yep. Definitely loyalty is
you got to gain that trust too. Because people be trying to act like they innocent, and the whole time they dealing with other people behind your back. So yeah, it's people can play that role very well.
But you know what? What goes around comes around. It all comes out in the end. It all comes out in the end. So regardless of what they do, as long as you giving your 100%, hey, what more can you ask for?
I think that really takes an open conversation, and you have to let them know like what you're looking for and listen to them for what they're looking for. Because I made a mistake of assuming something was exclusive a few years ago, because that's what I wanted, and it sounded like he wanted the same thing. But when I look back on it, we never had that explicit conversation. So when things went left, I was like, yo, Jatan, this is your loss, because you didn't take that back to him and say, this is what I think this is what I want this to be. If it's not, please let me know. So I have the option of staying if I want to deal with that, or I can walk away because that's not something that I want right now.
Ooh.
Sometimes
So that's one thing that I need in a relationship, a future relationship, is to let me know what it is and what it isn't,
And what it
so that
ain't.
I know what my options are. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Because
sometimes I
everybody
feel
got
like,
options.
sometimes I feel like when you're in the beginning of a dating situation, it's kind of like, maybe it's just me, but sometimes you hear what you want to hear and not exactly what they're saying. Take what
Yes.
they're saying, value.
I got the magic question for everybody.
Go ahead.
Doesn't it seem like the African American race is having the hardest time dealing with relationships and being stable and being together and being able to communicate than any other race?
I don't know if I would say that. I think it's just
I think
all
it's in general.
around.
You
I
think
think
so?
it's, yeah, I think
it's
it's
in general.
multicultural. Like, I don't think, I mean,
It's the
I
world
think
we live in today.
yeah, I think it's just the society today, like the lack of communication, the lack of just being honest with people. And I don't think it's just specific to us. I mean, I definitely know it happens, but I think it's everywhere.
I think we recognize it obviously because we're within the race.
Right.
But I would obviously also agree that it's across. It's across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because now everything is different because it's more people who dealing with open relationships and this relationship. I mean, it's just so much kind of relationships that look like every day I see a different type of relationship and with names and everything. I'm just like that.
See, that's the thing. I'm not now. Back in maybe my younger days, it was okay to be like, all right, I'm that player type dude. I'm not the type gonna be all. I can't do this. I want to be with this one. I want to be with that one. I want to be show with this one and that one, because then that's showing what type of person I am. And by me being an author and writing about relationships and what we go through, it's kind of funny. I'm like the total opposite outside of what I write now, and it's crazy because it's just a funny thing. I think you start to mature. And you start to look for different things that you want out of a woman and out of a relationship at a point in your life where you're like, okay, it's enough. Well, some women say, well, after you wear it all your tread out, okay. So after you wear it all your tread out too, so we both still single, right? You see what I mean? So being able to grow and to mature and to like you got to stay prayed up and then get into a relationship and then having a partner, it's different, and you have to understand when you bring each other into the equation, you can't be selfish because we are being selfish if we ask our partner for more than what they're willing to give us when they already let us know what they was willing to give us.
True. So
You
guys, what
ever
are y'all
think
looking
about?
for? What are y'all looking for when y'all when y'all dating women? What are you looking for in that woman? What are some of the qualities or when it comes to dating?
Let's say my female friend, she laughs, we joke, we rarely have a good serious conversation. If she could almost finish if she knows my reaction, she knows when I'm mad without me even getting mad. Like, I be getting ready to have an attitude, and she's like, "Oh, you got an attitude," just by my reactions. And that's somebody learning your actions and reactions, learning who you are as a person. People nowadays don't even get to know who you are and what you want. You could ask them, "What is one of my goals?" and they could not tell you.
Blake?
All right. Probably loyalty, honesty, a sense of humor. Somebody that likes to go out, travel, do things. Somebody to, build with, encourage, and supportive. That's really it for me.
That build with was important for me. Like that build with was very, very important for me. I have to be honest with you all. I remember having a conversation with Tanisha way before we got married, in which, you know, I kind of asked her, like, what is it that you want out of life? And the only thing she could answer was that she wanted to be married to me. And I was like, nah, you gotta want more than that. Like you got to want at least something for yourself. What is it that you want, you know, for yourself? Because I had visions of what it was that I wanted to do. Like, and I'm going to do this regardless if I'm with you or not with you. So what do you want for yourself? Like, and I want to build with you, but I want to know what it is that you want for yourself. What separates you from me? What are your goals? What are the things that you want to do and accomplish? And I needed that. And at that time, she couldn't answer it, and it was very difficult. It was very, very rough.
I got a question for the lady down low. Why is it so hard for you all to talk about what y'all want out of life, what y'all goals is? And it's so easy for y'all to tell us your problems, but as men, if we come to y'all with our problems, it's like we're weak. Can you answer that question?
Oh, this directly to me?
Yes.
Okay. I can only talk about me. I can't talk about anybody else. And I would tell you the biggest thing that I have learned recently within the last year is that I've been in survival mode as a single mom. So my focus, and I mean, I've been in survival mode before I became a mom. So I'm not blaming my children. Don't take it that way. But having that on my plate as well, my focus has been, what do I have to do today? How do I get to the next day? So for a long time, I haven't had the time to prioritize what I want to do beyond the next week. Quite honestly, that's probably about as far as I had thought before I sat down and went to therapy and learned about my emotions, learned about my feelings, learned about how to tap into them and things like that. So I've never been able to articulate them. And I'm learning by meeting more people that are on like a similar journey, is that like a lot of us grew up in that type of environment and we didn't even know it, because it seemed like our childhood was normal, but we had emotionally unaware parents. So it was go to school, do your work, go to college, find a job. Oh, you got these kids now, raise the kids, plus all that stuff. And so I didn't have time to think and process feelings and emotions. So if you said like, what do you want to do with your life? And I'd be like, make it till tomorrow. I wasn't giving you, I wasn't avoiding your question. I wasn't, you know, I was just unaware of because life beyond that, because that was a goal for me.
It was what you saw. It was what you were witness to, that you came
that too, like not seeing like people set and achieve goals and things like that. But now, you know, I could tell you that I have things that I want to do, things that I want to attain, and that kind of thing. But that has taken me some time, and I still can't articulate all of what I want to do, because I'm still focused on right now being a mom and getting my last child through high school. So I'm making goals beyond that. But so I'm loosening up my vision and I'm seeing a little further, but I'm still in the early stages of transitioning from survival mode to thriving mode. And that has taken therapy, sitting down with the therapist to recognize this, to understand this, to be like, oh my God, I really have the choice to make my life what I want to make it. Like, that was a revelation to me. And y'all might be sitting here looking at this camera like I'm crazy, but I really did not realize that.
I'm not.
And like you said, you know, growing up, all we seen our parents do was go to work, come home, sit in the rocking chair, drink the beer, we do that one vacation
go to church.
A year.
Yep.
Right.
Well,
go to church.
We as a
go
race,
to that one vacation a year.
We as a race have always been in survival mode.
Yes, and it's a whole lot of us still there.
And it's a whole lot of us still there because that's what we saw, and our parents saw, and their parents saw, and so it's almost a generational curse.
And it's so funny.
So
it's so funny because when I started writing books, and I had a vision, and I was like, the only way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna have to leave home.
Yes, that's big.
And when I did, it wasn't easy. It was times I was like, no, I'm gonna go back. I need to go home. But at the same time, it's like, then I'm gonna go back home and do the same thing. I hadn't seen the world for all that was in there, and I was like, wow, this is a this is actually a beautiful world that God created. We ain't seen none of it. Only what we seen in our little part. You meet your different cultures and things. And like I said, yeah, I think our generation, we was kind of programmed the wrong way.
Yeah.
But that's all they knew. That's
Next question,
Yeah.
step out of it.
so you can't fault them. And I want to put that out there. I'm not faulting
Nah.
my upbringing. I really had a blessed child. I didn't know
Yeah.
that there was any other way to have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a level of normalcy for me. And it was just like, oh, but it could have been different. It could have,
Yeah.
you could have had someone say, how do you feel about this? Instead of, good job, you got it done. They didn't really care what it
Yes.
took. They didn't care you was upstairs
Yeah.
trying to get their papers written by 11:59 and posted
Yeah.
up. Hey, you graduated college. Good
Yeah.
job. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
they didn't care how it felt. You got it done.
Yeah. No, that's deep.
Exactly.
I have
I
a
think
question.
back in the day, I think church was so much pushed on us all the time because I
Yeah.
stayed in church 24/7.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too. I got
So it
tired
was
of it.
like
I was
we
like,
was
I'm not
pushed.
going back to church.
And so the
We
response
was
was
pushed so
always
much on church. Yeah, we didn't experience. Well, me as a child, I didn't really experience too much because it was church all the time. It was school, church, school, church. I lived in school and church. That's all I knew. So for my parents never talked to me about boys. They talked to me about sex. The only thing they said was, "You don't need no boyfriend. Don't you be talking to boys." That's all I heard.
Don't bring
It
no
was
baby
never
out.
talk. You never sat down and they
But
never talked to
see,
you about sex. You never
but see, you had friends and stuff for all that, because everybody communicated back. It won't flash to your face like it is now. It was a secret, but you had your homeboy. Hey, boom, boom, boom. You learn through communicating.
But
There's
that
no
might not,
communication
but
now.
that might not have been the
You
right
know?
person to get that information from.
Right.
Because
Like,
they
that might
It
not have
worked.
been
It worked.
the proper
worked.
person to really get that
It worked
information
how?
from.
We
For
all
you.
single.
I mean, we
For
all
you.
had those friends, but it might not have been that we were supposed to be
Boy, I
listening
grew up with
to
some
that particular
dogs.
person. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. Like, and that's why, I'm not faulting my parents for not talking to me about it because they deeply into the church. But when I brought my daughter, into the world, it's like I'm going to teach her different than how I was raised because I want her to be able to have that communication with me that she's able to come and talk to me about sex. She can come and talk to me about
Yeah.
anything that she's
Yeah.
going through where I felt like I couldn't do that because my parents might jump on me and beat my butt for anything that I might say.
Yeah.
So, when my daughter came, when my daughter got old enough, like she came to me and was like, "Mom, like we need to talk." And the funny thing about it was when her girlfriends would come over to the house, like I'd be up in here talking to them, okay, y'all, let's talk about the birds and the bees. And they're looking at me like, Miss Stephanie. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna talk about this because y'all need to know about these things because I wasn't taught these things.
Mhm.
And I felt like it needs to be taught. I feel like a lot of stuff that we might not have known back in the day needs to be brought to the forefront now that can help when it
I
gets
think-
to like relationship stuff where you're just
I
not
think-
going out here and trying to
think a lot of
experience
black
things
men-
the wrong.
I think a lot of black men as well need to step up, especially with the teens that's coming up today, because they're not really getting that father figure guidance that we had when we was younger, to really teach you what it's about being a man, what it's about using your hands to build and create things. All we're showing them now is the hip hop world and what they're doing in the hip hop world. And as we can see, that's not, you're not promised tomorrow. I think I can put myself in that category too, that I need to start, doing a little more giving back, going out to the do volunteer work and helping with the young black teens, because we need to save our race as a whole. Because we can talk about relationships all day, but we're not getting taught how to be together and how to communicate and how to love one another. then by the time we get in a relationship, how are we gonna love our significant other? We don't love ourselves.
I think some of that also stems back to something Jatan touched on, and it's really like your mental health, right? Like I think a lot of that stems from, number one, teaching people to love themselves first. Really before they go out and maybe even get into a relationship to try to love somebody else. And I think a lot of that stems from really mental health, building self-esteem, building things like that, because we as a people have long gone with mental health issues and have not really resolved those types of things. And so then they come into a relationship, like they come into the relationship with us. And so we need to do a better job at first loving ourselves and maybe, like Jatan said, seeing therapists and identifying things about ourselves and going that route. I think that's important.
I definitely advocate for therapy. Like I will
absolutely
say it till I'm blue in the face. It's like the best thing I have ever done for myself. I was in therapy years ago, probably like 10 years ago, and it got a little expensive. And so that's one of the reasons I quit. And then I didn't feel like we were really getting into what I wanted to get into. So this go around, I actually went because the relationship I was in, something just was like, yo, this can't just all be me. You know what I mean? Like I woke up kind of feeling like I had lost myself. And I was like, wait a minute. So then I went to therapy and thinking that I had, certain things that I needed to heal and like deal with it's some things from my past or issues and things that I had seen in multiple relationships I had been in, like trust issues, for example, and stuff like that. So I felt like I needed to sit down and like get to the root of those. But then I also found out that I was with a person that also needed some help.
Yeah.
And it was you're going through this and you've got gaslighting and manipulation and these things are being done to you. So it's you and them. Y'all both got some stuff you need to kind of work on. And then it got to the point I was like, I'm going to fall back and work completely on me. And right now I'm making sure that I'm real comfortable eating alone. Like when I pull up to the table, I'm good no matter who's there or if I'm there by myself. Like I got to be able to, go out by myself and enjoy my own company and be okay being in my thoughts alone before I sit at the table and share my thoughts with somebody else. So that's where I am. So, I haven't been on a date in 2023 and I'm not looking. Like I'm just, it's been friend dates like with my homegirls. I've taken my kids out kind of thing and I've just gone out by myself.
I feel you. So the Man Experience did an episode.
I want to go back to something that Arthur Heasy had brought up.
What was that, sis?
Yeah, what was it?
Go ahead.
What was it? What did I bring up?
Yeah, I wanted to go back to something he brought up about how women I guess are not sensitive when it comes to men talking about their emotions or feelings and stuff like that. I feel as if, speaking for myself, I would rather that a man comfortable enough to come and talk to me about things he's dealing with or his emotions and stuff like that. However, not a man feels like they can do that. They can, be open and about that because they might feel that we might think different or feel a different way. Me personally, I don't. I would rather they talk to me and I know what you're dealing with. Even myself, I'll bring it up like, you all right, something going on, because I can tell, I can feel his mood, whatever the case may be. So if he doesn't bring it up because I paid attention to him, I'm going to bring it up. Guys need to realize that it's okay to show your emotional side. I don't feel like you're a punk about it. Rather that you do it versus you try to hide it, and then I feel like you move in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because we pick up things, but some women might not, pick up the fact that he's going through something. That he's doing that might be the way she take it because she's not
Yeah.
really reading him the way it should be. So need to start speaking up when it comes to their feelings and emotions, so that we'll know and that we just don't assume that he's doing something that he got no business
And
because he's acting a certain way or moving a different way.
And like mental health is really important. I remember when I started seeing my therapist about 4 years ago. And I was like, man, oh man, I ain't gonna sit there and tell this person my whole life. Then she walks in and she's from Hawaii, she's fine. I said, oh my God, I know I'm not gonna be able to talk to her about anything. I'm too busy looking at her. But she was strict, she was to the point, and we built a relationship. And she always looked out for my mental health. She was like, hey, why you ain't on your mask? Why you ain't been taking your mask? You know how you get. And the funny thing about it is she made a schedule for me. Like, okay, since you don't want to come see me when you're supposed to, I'm going to take you so you can't get no refills on your mask. You have to come see me before you get your refill, because mental health is very important. And I don't think us as an African American community, we don't pay attention to our mental health enough. We suppressed it enough. We used to keep the kids in the house without taking them to seeing the doctor. Oh, he's just that way. No, it's a reason why we was that way, or a reason why that person is that way. And it's very important, man, because I can tell when I'm off my meds, my energy is up. I got anxiety, my heart's pumping, and I'm antsy, and that the world just feel like it's falling apart, and I got a problem with everybody. And I can tell how when I'm taking my meds, it's like, okay, it's at that level where it's not too high and not too low. It's at that even kill. It's not, I don't want to kill nobody today. Oh, I just feel like I want to die today. It's right there. So it's very important that we and let our partners know about our mental health as well. What triggers us and what we're doing with our mental health. Because a lot of people, they get into these relationships. You can be sitting beside a manic killer. You don't even know his mental capacity. All you know is, he bringing the bucks home, boom, 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 but don't even know who that person is. And like we said, dating in 2023, that's what people are selling it for.
And I thank you.
Go ahead, Tom.
Because you don't hear about a lot,
because that's what she's going on with dating.
Like seeking the medications and things like that. But for a man to actually open up and share with you what he's going on, he first has to be aware. He has to be able to articulate it. He has to have some degree of emotional regulation and awareness. Like, he may just know that he feels some type of way when you do certain things, but he doesn't know why. But that's the benefit of going and sitting and talking to a professional, and not feeling like you have this stigma over your head of like, oh, if I go and sit on this sofa, then they're gonna say I'm crazy.
Shoot, I go in there and lay down.
Acting like I'm gonna say crazy now.
I go in there and lay down. You want to hear about my crazy world?
One thing I can say about therapy, especially in the Black community, is, yes, most of us go to church and, we do all that, but Jesus is not the therapist. Like, it's okay to still
both, quite honestly.
Exactly. It's okay to love the Lord and do all that, but it's okay to see professionals. So
listen, my Bible says faith without works is dead. So with that being said, God has put the professionals here and know what it is that they're talking about. And so we can't always constantly just think that we're gonna pray and pray our way out of a situation. No, there's a pathway. There are people here for me to go and seek help from. Sometimes we just think about, pray for that child. That child gonna be all right if you pray for him. And that's not the case. You got to go.
The other thing though is that prayer is free and therapy costs, and that's a deterrent. And there's
true.
To therapy.
It's ways you can wiggle through that you can get your therapy and mental health. You can get it free. You just got to know how to do it.
You need to write that because I'll pass that. Like, put that in a book and let these men know.
I'm trying to tell you. Hey. I don't need no. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I can't tell everybody the secret. Then they're gonna come.
Put it in a piece of $10.
But
I
the
download
government,
every day. I go on and hand it out to
it's
them.
so many resources for you to get free mental health therapists, advice.
We got a private chat. You can put
You get apartments, you can get everything.
Steph, I got a quick question.
The government offers all these things. We just don't look into it. But I do.
I got a quick question for y'all. So the Man Experience just did an episode in which we talked about, and this refers back to obviously dating in 2023. But we did an episode maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago talking about your love language. Have you all identified what your specific love language is?
Wow.
Mine have changed.
And it obviously can, right? Like, and that was one of the questions that I asked the fellas on that particular episode. Have you always had the same love language, or do you feel like at any given time that it has changed? So don't everybody answer at once, but I would love to know if you know what your love language is.
Probably quality time.
That's mine.
Mine is still like acts of. Do they call it acts of kindness?
Yes.
Title it correctly. Yeah, I do like for somebody to do something for me, but it needs to be meaningful and significant to me. Like, it's funny when you tell somebody that's your love language, but then they want to do what means the most to them. That's not work. I didn't say it in Japanese and you bring me kindness in Spanish. I need us to both be speaking English. Can you do acts of kindness that mean something to me?
Right.
It used to be like gifts and stuff like that, and then I was like, nope, that's kind of materialistic. I'll buy my own gifts.
Facts.
And do you feel like the way that you show love is the same way that you like to receive it? If that makes sense.
I like to learn them and what is important to them. Like, I don't think I want to be with somebody that has like physical touch as their love language, because I'm not the most affectionate woman you'll ever meet.
Ooh, okay.
You know what I mean? So I want to jump into a situation like that.
Got you. Okay. Oh, that makes
for me, it's giving 100% expecting nothing in return. Long as you're giving your 100% and putting your best effort into it, you won't get let down. If you put expectations on your partner, I think you're setting yourself up for a letdown. So I had a guy tell me, he said, as long as I know I'm giving my 100%, I shouldn't expect nothing in return, because it's my duty to honor and to treat that woman as loyalty and loyalty.
Got you. Steph, sis, what's your love language?
So what do y'all men feel about women?
Steph, what's your love language?
What's your love language?
all of them.
Oh, okay.
No, I think mine's is quality time. I definitely love quality time. So even though I might drive them crazy after a while, but yeah, I like quality. But I still want to know that answer. Do y'all think for dates, the dinners, the activities for the evening, or how do y'all feel about that?
You kind
of broke up.
You said, do we pay?
I know, but you broke up. Like, we couldn't hear the whole question.
What do y'all feel about the women paying? Oh, what do y'all feel about women paying for the evening? The dinners, whatever activities that y'all do for that evening.
I feel like
that's on her.
Shoot, I was married now, so I anytime I can get a meal out of. No, I'm just playing. Shoot.
You know, when you're at that mature stage and you with that partner, y'all get to know each other. Sometimes.
You said what? Oh.
Is Stephanie there?
What'd you say, Stephanie?
I was asking Blake what you said. Would you do it?
Oh no, what I was just saying was, I don't think it's anything wrong with that. If a woman likes a guy and she wants to, treat him to a meal, they've been dating for a while. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like women won't mind doing something for a man that they actually like. So that's not weird to me. He may refuse or whatever, but at the end of the day, if you want to take him out, take him out. Nothing wrong with that to me.
Take them out. Take them out.
So what I hate is when like people get on Facebook and they'll say stuff like, "Oh, well, women shouldn't be doing that."
Oh man, I can't even listen to Facebook.
My opinion has always been, whatever you do in your relationship, that's between you and the person that you with.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, like that's between you and that person. So if y'all are comfortable with how it is that you got it going, don't let nobody else tell you how you should be doing your relationship in that aspect.
Right. I feel
True.
definitely agree.
I know, and some men always be like, they don't feel like women should pay or do anything like that.
Yeah.
I personally, I like doing
look
special
at
stuff. I
that.
like weekend trips, rose petals, wines.
I look at it
But
as
my relationship. My relationship. That's long distance. My relationship. So that's long distance. So basically, she gets the world treatment when I do go see her. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta. It's different aspects of a relationship that you just do. You just do it or you don't.
So, do any of y'all got any questions that y'all want to ask the women?
No.
I'm scared.
what's
Don't
the
you
worst day? What is the
even
worst?
get started.
What's the question?
What was-
What is the worst date you've been on? Worst
Worst date? Oh.
worst first date.
Oh gosh, this was years and years and
It don't matter when it was. Just if you can think back.
I don't know. It was a movie date, and then we went out to dinner afterwards. And I hate movie dates for a number of reasons. Number one, I'm not a big movie buff, and that's something that like I agreed to go because it was something to do. But now I would not opt to do that, especially for a first date, because you don't get to know the person. And then afterwards, like we went to dinner and he couldn't really hold a conversation. So if it were the reverse, like if we went to dinner first, there wouldn't have been no movie. Like, bro, I don't even want to sit here beside you because you ain't talking about it.
Yeah, right. I'm not going to the movies on the first date because that's like 2 hours of my time that I could have had doing something
else. You don't
else.
know anything about the person. You know about the people on the screen.
Yeah, you sitting there quiet and got to pay attention to the screen, so y'all not talking.
Yeah, that's dates for when you 6, 8, 9 months in and carrying on. You got to get to know the person first for you go to the movie. Like I ain't like that.
What about you, Stephanie?
I don't know.
Is she?
I ain't been on a date so long. I take myself out with the crap.
Nothing wrong with that.
Huh?
I said it's nothing wrong
What
with
is
that.
that?
He said ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, I just take myself out because dating right now is just
But that is
red
the benefit
flag,
of the apps.
Real quick. I ain't even gonna give you a chance to say anything else.
The benefit of the app does let you see somebody's conversation.
What the dating?
Yeah, because I there was one I never made it to a first date because I asked them, you know, when you're meeting like different people and stuff, you got different conversations going, and so I got tired of writing What do you do for a living? What do you do for work? What's your occupation? So I hit him with, hey, what's your livelihood? Why he sent me back a list of hobbies? About
That's his livelihood.
Basketball and whatnot. I'm like, but if you got a phone in your hand and you didn't know what livelihood meant, that tells me that you're not gonna take the time to research it. So yeah, that was it. That was all. Like I didn't write back. I had no response because I was like, gardening and basketball. This is what you get paid to do?
That brother Tommy from Martin, he ain't got no job.
Yeah, say that, bro. I'm between jobs. I'm currently, looking to switch careers, make up something, but don't tell me your hobbies.
Nah, he said, no, he was right. Gardening was his job. Gardening.
Yeah, that's you don't get it.
Gardening was his job.
Yeah, I won't about to be plowed or paid, bro. Try to
That's what I'm getting paid from.
He had the pitchfork and all.
John was about to be somebody Bonnie or somebody Clyde.
Oh man.
So have y'all had any terrible first dates? Second date?
Let me see. Nah.
I'm about to say anything that you want to talk about.
I ain't had no bad day.
Yes, but I'm not able to speak
Yeah,
about it.
Did it end up in court?
No, boy, nah.
I ain't never had no bad day.
Like that. No legal troubles. No legal troubles over here. I'm not able to speak about exactly what happened on here.
Oh, that sounds like a real good one, though.
It was interesting. We'll just say actions didn't match words, and we'll leave it at that. I know that's very vague.
We'll take your word for that and make this Facebook friendly. So, what's the best first date you went on?
The best first date. Man. I gotta say all of it. Go ahead.
Nah, you good.
Go ahead.
I gotta say all the dates.
Why? Because you
didn't think he was gonna say that.
You know what's that?
Oh, because he was there. Say because he was there. That's why he grinning. Look.
Yeah, that's right.
No, but y'all, I met him, and I so well. That's why he always laughs when I basically everything that I say about him is basically almost true, and he laughed because he know it. What we gonna do with you?
Oh Lord.
I don't know, but I might start dating this year. Maybe.
I gotta approve.
Time to step outside.
That's what I was talking about. I don't think I want to date anybody in my area though.
I gotta approve.
It's definitely P in this day.
You gotta approve.
Like, I mean, like my little relationship is long distance, and it's cool. But that way we can focus on doing all the things that I like, building, doing, until, like you want to get to know that person. You want to know if that's the one. So you got to have that building. And plus, we've known each other for a long time, for a while anyway, like year, 2, 3. So basically, it's just, getting reacquainted and, just enjoying life. You don't want to put stipulations on a relationship. You want to grow together, like Desmond said, grow together and build together. You don't want a relationship to feel like it's forced. You want it to come freely, and when you're with that person, you can tell if it's forced or if it's freely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you have to be forced to act a certain way, forced to be a certain way instead of being yourself, you know that relationship is forced. So
you should not be with that person.
right. So it's like when you're with that person, you already know.
That's true.
Dating in 2023.
And the long distance relationships do have that benefit of having like your time so you can focus on you, and then like a set aside time since there's travel time and whatnot to coordinate being with that person. So that there is a benefit to that.
Well, I don't know. We're gonna see. I'll keep y'all posted.
I know you're gonna keep me posted.
Huh?
I said I know you can.
I got you, bro.
Well, they
I
gonna
got you, bro.
what you mean? You got to go outside someday. They gonna just run up in your house and get you.
Listen, I plan on being out this summer. Look, I got some trips planned.
Oh, you gonna summer all summer, huh?
Yeah. You silly. I'm not fooling with you. I don't plan on being in the house all the time. I plan on getting out.
It's okay to be outside.
I really do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be outside. Jaton, we gonna be outside.
We are. I'm going outside.
It's okay to be outside, but when y'all meet them toxic men, go back in for a minute. All right,
go back in, please. Do.
Go back in for a minute.
Please do.
I don't want to hear.
Because I don't want to hear. He won't. You know how? You know he ain't.
Oh, you didn't. Mm-hmm. Oh, you didn't get them before too.
you know, boy. Hey, I work at a restaurant. I had to hear it all day. He called me from all day long, boy. I'm like, wow, okay.
My cutoff game is real good. First red flag cut. Ain't got time for it.
I'm not running around picking up clues like I'm Blue's Clues and whatnot. I ain't doing that no more.
No.
Here's a clue.
We're not gonna find the clues.
No. Clue number one. I'm going somewhere else.
Stephanie, we talked about this. We'll bring it up one more time. What's your biggest red flag for you again? Go ahead.
I got a whole bunch of red flags.
Lord.
Three.
I don't like
three. Your top three.
Oh my goodness. You got to have everybody hate me on here. I do not like men who do not communicate.
Communication.
That's a big turn off to me. And for the smokers, don't get offended. I do not like smokers whatsoever. Don't get offended. That's just my choice.
Hey, that's your choice, sis. That's your choice.
And third turn off. I don't like men who be like out all the time, who out be in the streets all the time. Like, I'm not feeling that.
Yeah.
Cause that them streets can cause problems and troubles. Those who got to be in the bars and the clubs and scene all the time. Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not feeling that either. So won't you respond to that? You answer that yourself.
For me,
yeah,
so
you
flipped it back.
Put me on the spot.
Okay, all right. I would say communication with exes, red flag, at least for me specifically. I can't speak for nobody else. Because I know some people are different and still are in communication with their exes as friends.
They can go stay with them then.
I'm not comfortable with that. So,
I ain't either.
So you feel what I'm talking about. So
I know. They go right there and be with them.
Another one I will say, probably dishonesty, kind of lying about where you're going, stuff like that. That's kind of a little flag. Like I said, I don't need to track you like that, but if I feel like you being weird about it, That's kind of a flag for me. I'm trying to figure out my other one.
Jatan, you next after he finish.
Ooh, how much time we got left?
Come back to me for the third one. I can't think of it right now. Go ahead. Let somebody
You
else
can't
go.
think of Jatan?
All right, so y'all want 3 red flags.
Mm-hmm.
One is somebody who cannot regulate their emotions,
Mm.
like
Right.
their mood swing type things. I'm not going there again ever in my life if I have a choice. 2 is that if you're a guy that doesn't have a good relationship with your children, that's a red flag to me. And I don't want to deal with that. And 3 is if you're unwilling to go on a healing journey. That's a flag. You don't. I feel like you have to go in due time, and you have to go when you're ready. But if you shun the idea and you feel like, oh, there's nothing wrong with me, I'm gonna beg to differ, and I'm gonna peace out and stay on my journey by myself and figure the rest of me out.
And Jatan gonna call you out on it too. She gonna tell you about yourself.
Look, I'm healing. I don't be calling them out as much. I just ghost block
and will. You want to answer that?
Who?
Author.
Who, me? You just don't do what you want me to do. No, that's
a whole lot.
Oh,
being honest
no,
though.
like,
being honest.
No, communication. Well, lack of. That's it for me. Like communication. You ain't communicating. That's it for me. That'll let me know what it is and what it ain't.
Like the number one thing these days is the lack of communication.
Yeah. Because there's so much in this world to do now. People really ain't got time to really communicate.
Communication can probably solve a lot of issues.
Issues a lot. Yeah.
But just like you have different love languages, there are different communication styles.
Absolutely.
So I don't want to be talking on the phone all day long. I'll talk to you. Yeah, I don't have a problem with phone calls, every now here and there. But my preference is text, typically because I'm multitasking and I have other things going on. But don't take that as a sign that when I say I have other things going on, it means I'm with another man or I'm entertaining somebody else. I got way more things to do than rotate a whole bunch of men through my life. That's not the stage I'm in. And when they're back in 2005,
that's me. I ain't got time.
It's 2023. Like, I don't have time for that. Like, and if I barely have time for you, what makes you think that I'm giving a little bit of time I do have to another man?
Exactly.
You feel me? Like, that's one thing I gotta put up with. I got a bunch of other stuff to do outside of my job, and I have things outside of my kids that I need to be, doing. And I can't be sitting here holding the phone with you while I'm trying to get it done.
Facts.
Exactly.
Somebody communicate.
Over there, who communicating? Nah.
Not out, my phone's dry.
But you have a third one. Are you good with yours, Blake? You good with your two that you got?
I can't think of one more.
Or did you figure out your third one? Well, I have enjoyed y'all. I don't want to keep y'all holding because y'all might have some people y'all need to communicate with.
Communication.
And I don't want y'all taking up their time. So each one of y'all, can y'all go through, tell them where they can find you at, if you have businesses or whatever you have going on, that so they can support you. Shout all of that information out. Chatan, you want to start first?
Okay. My business page is Sweet 1603. I operate mainly on the weekends, but I do custom orders during the week. And I'm also in an upcoming stage play. So you can check that out at danielbarksdale.com. The title of the production is Sunday Morning.
Go get that red velvet cake, y'all.
That's all.
All right. I'll follow the Man Experience page. Please follow, follow.
Okay.
Every other Sunday. Tune in.
Can you put that in the comments?
I do need to put that in the comments. Des, you got me?
Yeah, we'll make sure everybody's information will be available. All right, off the Heezy.
You can find me on Facebook. It's Too Legit to Quit. Instagram, Arthur Hezzy. TikTok has more 8522, and Twitter Morris_Hezekiah. You can find my books on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. Be sure to check out my newest novel, The Pastor's Son. That'll be out in May. And you can check out my Authors Lounge show. I'll be interviewing different authors and different people with talent every third Sunday of each month on the Crew Podcast. It's the new podcast crew that we have that we're getting started with, getting people up started and getting experience, been doing podcast shows and different things. So that's been fun to do here lately. Keeps me busy and out of trouble. So
Is it working?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, no,
Stephanie,
you've been staying busy. I see you over there grinding. I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm gonna leave you alone.
I'm trying to finish this book.
As Blake said,
You got another one?
Oh,
Can you hear me? You have another book that you're working on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, Desmond.
As Blake said, definitely go on and follow us at the Man Experience Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram. We got a website that we're working on right now. Shout out my sister, LadiBrown Suga, for having me on here. I'm glad to have been a part of this. And look for other things that we got going on. This is not just the first time. I know me and Blake are working on a true crime podcast right now. I'm also working on them with What the Muck podcast. Hopefully y'all see these two ladies, Jatan and Stephanie, in the revamping of the women's world. But we got a lot going on. So be on the lookout because I'm really trying to make these black people something one day. They're gonna be big.
Right. We got to, man. You know, we've been putting a lot of work in the last couple of years, especially, you know, I've been watching Stephanie and we talk about this all the time, you know, about how instead of us doing a 9 to 5, we're doing a 9 to 5 or something we love to do.
Big time.
You know, that's the goal. That's the goal. That's what you want to build upon. You know, at the end of the day, if you do have a party, like, look, I ain't got to get up at 9 if I don't want to, but I'm gonna get up anyway because it's something I love to do. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm trying to be the Keenan Ivory Wayans in it.
Right. If I want to get on the jet, like, how about this weekend I take off and we just fly to an island? You know, that's what you call building up to bring something like that to the table. But it takes two. It's not easy.
Yeah,
It's not. That's why we have to support each other.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, I really appreciate y'all coming on the show. And I got some other topics. I don't know if anybody is interested in jumping in on. My next topic I'm gonna be talking is the kids when we were coming up versus now. And then I want to talk about. I got you, Desmond. Then I also want to talk about how they got the church becoming a circus.
Man, I definitely want to go on that one.
Because you know,
Pastor Son, right in there.
Those are topics that I have that's coming up. So I hope everybody enjoyed the show.
And I also bring some guests by too, Stephanie. You hear me?
Oh, that's
I'm gonna
good.
bring some. I can bring some
Most
special
definitely.
guests too. We all collaborate together. We build this thing.
That's right. We're gonna work. So we got some things coming up. I don't know if Desmond want to talk about it, but yeah, we got some things we're working on as well.
I'm working. I'm working.
So yeah,
I'm
we've been talking about movies and stuff, but yeah, we have some things we're working on, y'all.
I
So
got a
just
movie
stay
for you. I don't know if
tuned.
I want to write the script for you, Desmond, but I need you and Stephanie to do
Jatan, I found out yesterday I'm Lynchburg famous.
Oh, really?
it.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
Wow.
All right, Big
I'm
Ten.
gonna keep
I
moving
got
forward.
you.
But yeah, Hezzy, I got you, bro. I got you. Just let me know.
Yeah,
All
we
right,
got you.
anything I can do.
I already
Is this
told you we
book
got
right
you.
here? Woo-wee.
Yeah,
This
he
the
gonna
one.
come send me a little bit of it to read. I was in my feelings. I was like,
This
where the rest?
this the last one. This the last one I'm writing for a while because I want to do other things with it. This is the one right here.
Yeah, it's from what I read, it's good.
I don't know if you want to tell them about the LadiBrown Sugar Uncle Hayes show.
Uh-oh.
LadiBrown Sugar
Stay tuned
Uncle
for that.
Hayes.
Ooh.
But y'all, we got, like I said, make sure y'all go follow everyone that's on here. Support them because we all have some good things going on in our life and they're all positive. So make sure you go follow us, and I appreciate y'all watching the show. I hope that we've said something that made you laugh, whatever the case may be. But all our information, I'm gonna make sure that it is in the description box or somewhere where you can contact all of us. Once again, thank you for watching the Lady Brown Sugar Show. Bye, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.